Hello folks and welcome to another live stream of IRC. We are in the circuit, Abu Dhabi circuit of Yas Marina today. Today I am your commentator, not so Masum. I am joined today in the commentary box with no more pro player. So Propi, before I have to ask you, like, we did have the race today and what are your impressions of the circuit?
First of all, I don't think a lot of people like the circuit, but yeah, for those who really like the circuit, they can really have a very good chance of improving, pulling away from the pack. Apart from that, it has a lot of traction zones, which, if you just you have to be very consistent to have a good race at the circuit.
Yep, absolutely, and I think this is a circuit that favors the low speed sections and also the tire temperatures are a bit high over here, so which does mean that it's a bit like driving on ice. But of course, without much further ado, let's now move into the track video where we have a hot lap provided by Moto. Okay, they can ready up.
Oh, okay. So in the track video, is the commentary already added?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's fuck.
The ultimate hot lap of Season 5 for IRC as we go around the Abu Dhabi circuit with Moto, launching down under the Etihad bridge, going full speed into turn 1, already 7th gear as you slow down and get a good launch which then shoots you up through 2 and 3. 3 is the sweeping right-hander which you see right now. You've got to keep it under 7th gear so you don't get too much revs and too much speed through that section. Chicanes of 5 and 6 precarious because it dictates how much speed you're going to take through the hairpin, which then launches you into the fastest section of the track or the first open section. DRS opens a little late over here. As you can see, DRS now open. You're in the speed trap very soon, as Moto I think makes a last minute adjustment to get his car just right to the right hand side of the track, braking hard before the 50-meter board, down to 2nd gear through this chicane. It's a very precarious chicane, the 8 and 9, because you can get a lot of wheel spin and just go into the barriers through there. Usually you don't get your overtake done in the last straight, but in this straight, because both of them have their own individual DRS detection zones. Now through 11, 12, 13, I love this section. Sector 3 has begun and it's my favorite sector of this track. As you now go through the sweeping right-hander of 15, 16, before having to brake hard at 17. As you can see, braking really hard down to 2nd gear, I think, 3rd gear only. Now under this bridge, Aramco bridge section, the hotel section, I love it. It's such a beautiful section of the track as your car builds up all the way to the last 2 turns, 20, taking a loose apex through there, and the 21 where you have to take a slightly tighter apex through here as your car is back again on the start-finish straight, finishing a fantastic hot lap on this circuit.
And that was a lap around the Abu Dhabi circuit by Moto, and of course we are now in the qualifying as our drivers have readied up, and I think sooner in a couple of minutes we would be having our first drivers exit the pits. We can see it's dusk time. We do notice that the track does evolve quite a bit, but in the driver standings, Madhav has a sizable lead over Abi 17, who can potentially take the drivers championship today, provided he outscores Abi by 5 points. But all the way down, we have a lot of battles coming in. Quite a few noticeable absentees today. So it'll be interesting to see how the people who are attending today's race will make the most of that situation. In a couple of seconds, we would be going into the.
Yep, the two people. Yeah, the 2 people that we should keep an eye on would be Cryptid, and Deepak Raj has been attending the Tier 2 race from the past couple of weeks, but these 2-hour challenges. Coming on to the constructor, Williams are, I think, have taken the constructors championship, no, right?
No, they haven't. It's still quite close, especially if Williams have a bad race, then the game is back on. Of course, last race we did have Ferrari, who had a really bad race, and the second driver, Harry Rocks, have been having a really bad stint of races as well.
Yeah, what I've noticed is that in the Williams, like, both the drivers are have started to perform at least. Before Shalalak was performing, but now even Washing Powder Nirma is stepping up his game from the past couple of races. But yeah, even Harry Rocks needs to start stepping up his game if he wants to get the Ferrari on the constructors.
Absolutely. Harry did show some amazing pace in practice yesterday while I was along with these guys, but unfortunately he is not here with us today.
Oh, that is really unfortunate. So now Ferraris have just 1 person and the Williams have 2. So that can be a real bummer for the Ferraris. Do you have any idea where your tier 2 partner is?
I'm not sure. Like he did say he will come, but so perhaps he is caught up with something. Let's hope he can make it back for qualifying.
Yep, and we can see a couple of people are leaving now. Most of them on the soft set. I think everyone will definitely try to qualify on softs as it's an easy. There are a lot of strategies actually coming to that, Masu. We did not talk about that. So, what do you think drivers will be doing here?
So, in my opinion, the absolute best strategy is a medium softs. This is a true stop. The tires are, especially the hard compound tires, are like very difficult to control in this particular track. As we say that Harry Rocks has joined the party, so hopefully we will have an exciting constructor battle unfold here. But speaking about the strategy here, I believe the absolute fastest strategy is this medium softs, because the softs just hate the higher fuel load. They drop off very quickly in the higher fuel load, and you would ideally want to use the mediums in that particular range of fuel. But of course, safety car is going to bring a completely different landscape into the strategy situation.
Also, what do you? So, is it medium soft or medium soft? Because I think you can still.
So it would seem that the medium soft is the faster strategy, but it's not, because the softs have a tendency to overheat when you have reasonably high tire wear. So ideally, like when we talk about setting up the cars, like we want to basically have a tire that gives a really good pace over the entire stint. As we see that we seem to have lost Rupi for a second there, but right now with us we have drivers now setting their laps right now. We have Cryptid, who has been performing quite well in the last couple of races. In the last race, of course, he did join IRC like 2 days ago, and he has been putting on a good show, especially in the last challenger. He did get a podium in challenges, and hopefully he will be able to show what he's capable of today. You can see the track map, quite a lot of drivers are right now on their lap right now, but we can see a McLaren, Alfa Romeo are currently in the pits.
I am back. So Shalalak sets the fastest pole time of 1:34.7 on a soft. What was the pole time yesterday? I think it was 1:36.
It was a 32.9 if I remember correctly. But of course, 32.9. But of course, we do see that like in tracks where like track limits play a very important part. We do often see that tier 1 boys tend to build a huge gap, as they just have much better track utilization. As we can see, several people just completely cut the chicane.
Yeah, like I see a lot of people take the shortcut route. Is it to save time in their outlap and lap? I think that's what they are trying to do.
Yep. I personally don't approve of it, but as we say that, we have Abhi 17 now crossing the line for the final lap, but he invalidates it in the second last corner and he's heading back into the pits.
Yep, that was a sharp dive down into the pits right there.
Yep. That's much better than losing in the final sector, so in the final corner. So we'll take it.
Yeah, that is true. So Harry Rocks, who has a lot riding on today, is starting his final hot lap, going through the first corner. This is a corner which I find really tricky, because if you turn in too much, you might lose your car and go wide and again invalidate. Same goes for this corner. You feel that you will get the turn in, but then ultimately the corner just turns in very sharply. This is a slow bit of chicane, which I still don't know whether to mount it or not. And the hairpin is the most important part of this track, to get a very good exit and then plunge down that long straight, because this is where you can gain time, right?
Absolutely. And something to note here is that Abu Dhabi circuit, where track evolution is massive over here. We're now in the sunset time, and gradually the track temps are dropping, and you can push more and more as the track temps drop.
Yeah, so that is true.
The driver.
Shouldn't we try something like, what esports driver do? Someone should be that daredevil, lay the rubber for our
On the
fellow.
inters.
Yep, exactly.
Exactly. Yep. We have Harry Rocks now coming through this very tricky chicane sort of section, and seems to carry a little bit of good hitting speed. But let's see what time he does crossing the line. But right now, Madhav has quite a sizable lead, but Cryptor has had a really brilliant lap of 35. This 3 tenths off the current most likely contender for WDC.
Yep, that is true. Very much true. Our challenger boy right now showing where he will be and what he can do to us as well.
Yeah,
Coming
absolutely.
through the final corner, not
think-
going very wide. I think he slowed down at the end. If I'm
Yep,
not sure.
I think he wasn't pushing at all in this particular lap from the looks of it.
Okay.
But let's have a look. I think so far Madhav is on the beds, but not many.
Yeah.
But we have Avi, who's also joined. I think he joined his first race was in Texas, Austin, in the circuit of the
Okay.
Americas, and he has also been showing some really good form in the past couple of races.
Yeah, like I'm very happy to see a lot of new drivers who have joined in, even though it was towards the season end. But yeah, at least we get to see how they pair up with our old people, like the people who are racing with us from the past couple of seasons, and really excited to see a lot of new talent coming into this league.
We have Mr. G, who is, I believe, right now on a hot lap, and we will see what time he sets crossing the line. Of course, we do not know if he's on a purple sector right now because he hasn't done his first lap yet. But let's see what it is. And Baldacher is in that particular corner.
It's like very tricky to take that corner because you tend to tend to cut that corner as much as possible to get a very good exit, but then it's like you get greedy and then you just slip up and then you that's your lap gone in the last sector.
Yep, absolutely. Soham Day is on an out lap right now, but surprisingly, not many people are doing laps right now. Let's sound like a Deepak Raj. Deepak Raj invalidated his lap, so right now we have absolutely nobody on a lap. What are the chances?
Are they all laying rubber?
Could be.
At least that's what. At least that is something good that they are doing, even though they are not on a lap. Yeah, I can see everyone either in the pits or in out lap. So that is very weird to watch.
Exactly. I mean, but we have Abhi right now beginning to start his lap right now. So let's stay on board him to see what kind of time he can do.
Yeah, we will have a look into what kind of time Abhi does, especially after he invalidated his last lap in the last second corner. So hopefully this time he will be more careful. But yeah, if you are careful, you cannot set a better time there.
Yep. He did set a 16 point. Madhav currently sitting 16.9 in the first sector. So let's see what time he does crossing the line. Harry Rocks has now left the session, so he's not having a good day. But let's see, sector 1, interestingly, okay, because this is his first divided lap, we don't have a meter, but he seems to be quite close in first sector. Now coming into the very tricky hairpin where you need to stop the car but also get really good traction out of it, so line is ever the more important here. Now going into the back straight.
This straight is one place where we can, chill out, and drivers can also chill out if they are not doing much. But yeah, if you chill out too much, you will make a mistake in this tricky chicane, which has a camber as well. And if you give too much of a throttle, you will be hanging like a cow on the exit of the of that chicane.
Yep, absolutely. And as we said, Abhi17 has now crossed sector 2 and now coming into this very tricky left section where line and minimum contact speed are both extremely important. Now coming into this hairpin, seems to get good traction out of there. And let's see, now coming into this corner reminiscent of Bahrain turn 10, but does not have as much as an incline. Comes out over here. Important to maintain traction but also minimize your distance over here. Now coming into the final penultimate corners, two medium speed right-handers. Now as we cross the line, let's see what time he sets. He's 30 at the last corner, but crossing the line, what time is that? As we cross, he does go pole position by the 34.7.
Yep, that was a brilliant lap. One more thing I noticed is the lines that the drivers are taking. Abhi in the last third corner, I believe it is, he did not touch the curve also on the inside. I'm not sure whether it was by mistake or whether that's the line he takes. Whereas Wilster just invalidated his lap in that corner. As we cycle through drivers again, no one is on their lap. Abhi
We
going
do have Avi on the lap right now. He has set a personal best first sector, but let's see how he does now into crossing the second sector.
I think 135.6. Yeah, that was on his soft run as well. Yeah. So
He's- He's currently 4 tenths off pole position right now.
that's not a bad time actually if he maintains it like this.
Yep. That will put him. If he can improve in the third sector, he can potentially jump Encrypted, who is now sitting in a very nice, comfortable P4 with 4 tenths to the driver behind. Ooh, Avi just seems to be struggling with these low-speed sections right now as it stands, but seems to be making good use of the track as we see it just dart from left to right.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed. Like all the drivers have their own lines. As he crosses the line, goes P4 135.0. So I think he improved by a tenth in the last sector.
And
if I'm
yeah,
not
he
wrong.
did set purple for sector 3 actually, so a very impressive lap.
So I guess all the drivers should just watch his line and be like, okay, we are not paying any tax for those extra roads. Let's just use them.
Yep, absolutely. Let's have a look who else is on a lap. We have Avi who has this out lap, but Electric has set purple sector 1, takes that slipstream from Madhav over there. And now coming into sector 2, he's just 900ths off pole position right now. So can he improve in sector 3? He damn well should, given how the track must have improved and given how close he is to the time. So the question is, can Electric get his maiden pole position in the Yas Marina circuit?
Especially this corner, which is very tricky if you miss your braking point, but it seems like he did it very perfectly, going under the Anderson's bridge if I'm not wrong, and not using the track as much as possible, but coming to the last corner, all he has to do is not invalidate his time. He's still very good on his time, crosses the line, goes P4.
I think he lost at least 2 tenths by not using the track properly in the last corner.
Yeah, actually, even I feel the same. Even not only in the last corner, probably in the last third corner as well. Not going too wide. I think he was he saw his time that he is doing purple, and then he got a bit scared. And to keep it safe, he was playing it safe.
As we see that Madhav does hit purple sector 1, just 300ths up on the time side by Abhi. Now let's see if we can improve that time coming into sector 2. We have Electric now on outlap, so will he return the favor and give Madhav a nice slipstream?
I think that's exactly what he did there. Like even a slight bit is more than enough. I'm not sure what is going on right now because Electric seems to be at the same speed, but coming into the tricky chicane here, locks up almost all 4 of his tires and then gets a very good exit out of that chicane.
Yep, but let's see how he does now. Crossing sector 2, he should be up on his time. The track has improved, given that he did set his lap quite early. He has set a personal best, but is just 6,000th of pole. Goes deep into the entry of sector 3, but will he be able to improve now coming good through the very tricky section of sector 3, which is primarily comprised of extremely tight low speed corners.
This is the most important braking point where again a lot of drivers will lock up in that corner who are not using ABS, going under the Anderson's bridge, cutting as much, mounting the curb, but not going really wide on that exit, not using the track fully. Here, yeah, he does use the track. Coming to the final corner, all he has to do is keep it clean. He does keep it clean and goes pole position with 134.5, 2 tenths faster than Abhi.
Absolutely, and as we mentioned that Cryptid did actually improve his time to 34.8, so he did gain around 1.5 tenths in his final run. And BK19 sets a late lap to take P8, while Washington and Nirma is in the pits. I don't think he has time to do a final run as it stands, but he is currently P10. Faizan P11 and Harry Rocks is currently in P11, but he has invalidated his run, so I don't think he will be able to set a final run to improve on his time.
Yeah, because unless he has fuel, he might risk using his tires for one more lap. I think that's what he is doing. He has the fuel and he is going on another lap on those same tires.
We have Monk leaving the pits, but I do believe that he does not have sufficient. He doesn't have sufficient time to start his lap.
Actually, a lot of people are right now coming out of distance, which I think is not a wise decision since there's not enough time. It's a long circuit, but yeah, we'll see them cutting the full. Yep, there he goes straight on. As we are on board with Abhi, who seems to be on a lap right now.
But he is-
Codemaster, please switch camera. Thank you, Codemasters.
But he is coming into a massive amount of traffic ahead of him, so that will be very interesting to see what time he can do. And I think most of these people ahead of him are not making it for a third lap.
Yeah, actually, ahead of him, behind him, all those people should not make it to the end of this lap. As he goes through the tricky chicane, just takes enough curb not to unsettle his car, and then again goes back on the second back straight, opens his DRS, maybe a bit of slipstream from the guys up ahead, but all that will be lost in this sector since there will be some dirty air coming from those
He is
drivers as
3
well.
tenths up on fourth position right now, exiting sector 2. But what time will he do now once he crosses end of sector 3? Because he has set 2 purple sectors, beating both Madhav and Wilster right now.
That is a fabulous time that he has right now on the board. Coming through the last third corner, going under the Anderson's bridge, and Codemaster just decides to switch on the camera. Okay, and there he is. Going to the last second corner.
Oh, and does not invalidate it.
Okay.
That was close. But crossing the line. Let's see if he gets. He does not get pole position as he gets massively compromised in the second last corner.
Oof, he lost his rear there. He could have ended up in a DSQ as Moto did yesterday in the same position, in the same manner. So at least he's lucky to not have that. So,
Yep.
but he lost like
Cryptid is now on a lap and is just 500 of pole position right now. So let's see what lap he can do.
Damn, like all the drivers suddenly have started to get so fast and so close. I cannot keep up. We can see like Wilster G with a 134.2. That's a fabulous lap. But apart from that, Shalalak and Abhi, who are fighting for the drivers championship as well as constructor championship, both within like 500ths of a second. But then, yeah, it could have been a completely different story if Abhi would not have lost his car. As we go back to Cryptid, who is on the second back straight with DRS open, approaching the tricky chicane.
He is in for pole, Pro P. Like right now, just 1700s of pole position, 17,000 of pole position right now. So he is the contender as Harry Rocks has left the session again.
That's a message that we will see a lot in the session because he does have some internet issues. Now, Cryptid going under the Anderson's bridge, it's very crucial for him to nail this sector since he has not done a purple first and second sector, but that does not matter that he cannot get a pole. He's just 1700s down. Let's see where he ends up. He crosses the line, he loses a lot of time.
That's very
third
strange.
sector.
He's absolutely flying in the first 2 sectors.
Yeah, and the weird part was that he did not set purple sector, but he was that close to the top people that he was just 17 thousandths, I think you said, yeah, down
Yep.
on the his time.
Yep, exactly. Now let's see Faizan now crossing the line, the last man to cross the line. What time will he set? Now let's see what he can do. Crossing the line, that is P11 does not improve his position.
Actually, he's in a perfect position right now because he can do the alternate strategy, as you said, medium.
Yeah, and that is a qualifying today. We have Wilcher G on pole, followed by Madhav Shalalak on P2, followed by his championship rival Abhi17 in P3, Cryptid in P4, Sid Kulkarni in P6, followed by Avi in P7, Deepak Raj in P8, BK19 in P10, and I believe I'm not sure who closed up at P10.
Codemasters will do the job for us. They will bring out the final.
Yeah, we have Washington and Nirma in P10, but on the mediums, which may or may not work for him. We never know.
I think Washing Powder wanted to be in P11 for the alternate strategy, but it just did not work out for him. The drivers below him also had the same idea, I suppose. And it is what it is. Shalalak did improve on his time. He was 134.5 before a couple of minutes before the quali ended, but now he's 134.3. So if Abhi would have continued his lap, we could have seen a tight qualifying end finish to this. I think P1, P2, P3 would have been that close pole position finishers.
Yep, absolutely. And now let's see. Now we will be starting the race. We'll have the formation lab because we'll of course have that 1 minute to set the time. And I think let's talk about strategy a bit. I think most of the runners are on what do you call, will be on a 2-stop. But if you were in somebody's position, would you be going for that 1-stop, a soft hard perhaps?
I would not really, because yesterday whoever went on the hards complained a lot that since it is at night and we all know how cold it is out there. So the hards just don't get up to temperature, unless you did do a couple of laps. So I would not risk it. Just go medium, then go to softs. Hope for a safety car. Maybe you can even get around with a one stop. Who knows? Soft, medium, softs.
Yep. I think a soft medium is possible, but it's just that after the softs they cross around 7 laps, so you're losing multiple seconds to the drivers ahead.
That is true. That is very much true. Meanwhile, from the comments, I think a couple of people did guess the pole position time. Since I put it out, like if anyone wants to guess, uh, Arav, if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly, my bad. But he did predict 1:32.9, which is absolutely fast, which did not happen today. But yeah, there was Shubham Das who predicted a high 133s, as well as Eccentric who predicted 134.69, which which was also did not happen. It was somewhere in the middle, but nevertheless, it is like this.
Yep, and speaking about the laps themselves, I've generally seen that in tracks where your track extensions are very critical, like tracks where like you maximize the track utilization as much as you can. That's where like tier 1 and tier 2 really sets themselves apart. As we often see that in tier 2, if drivers generally struggle to reach to their TT times, where in tier 1 we often see drivers match that pace or at times even break that particular pace.
Yeah, that is very much true, actually. It's like it comes down to consistency. If you're consistent, even if you keep it on the track and not get penalties, you still have a lot of chance of coming up in the points at least.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, as we wait for the drivers, 1 minute timer given for the drivers to choose their tires strategy, their fuel strategy, which has gotten over. We are waiting for BK19 and Soham Day to ready up, and we will be underway with our formation lap. Uh, how many people do you think will DSQ in the formation lap? I have asked the same question in the chat. Let's see. There are a couple of answers coming. HP, that's kind of not possible. All of them cannot DSQ. Let's have a reasonable guess here. And the predicted strategy by the game, powered by AWS, I suppose, is a soft medium or a soft medium. That's a bit weird to see, but yeah, we will see a lot of strategies here. This is a track known for a lot of strategies. And especially if a safety car or something comes out, then definitely all the strategies goes down the drain.
Yep.
I think Shalalak just shot off on the formation lap to warm his tires because
I mean, a lot of drivers do believe that what do you call, tire temperatures don't matter in this game, but as a person who has spent so much time trying to understand tire pressures over here, like how the car behaves, having those right tires can absolutely rocket you off the start.
Trust me, I have been on the wrong foot of cold tires a lot of times. One of the races I was on minus 200 degree. Oh, now the AWS suggesting a 4-stop strategy as well. Sorry, 3-stop strategy as well. Very nice.
You might get a fastest lap, so maybe they want that extra point.
Yeah, exactly. That also makes sense. But yeah, coming back to the tire temps, especially in the first corner, you will just understeer like hell if you have a cold tire. You might end up taking out a couple of people on your outside in the first corner, so you have to be extra careful with that. There has been a race where I joined just after quali. I had a disconnection, and because of which I got tires with minus 200 degrees because Cody's. So after that, it was literally like driving on ice, especially it was in Mexico. So after the long straight, I had to just brake. Somehow just brake so much that I do not interfere other people's race.
Yep, absolutely. I had the same predicament in Japan where I started on very cold tires and I was so afraid that I was going to crash into the guy who was on my outside.
That is very much true. Unfortunately, no one did guess in our chat that there will be no disqualifications.
No, actually, Nishchay and Evil Dog did guess the same.
Oh yeah, is it? Oh yeah, true. That is very much true.
So let's see. We'll be having the 5 lights out as we see the Alfa Romeos, who are now starting from the back, line up.
That looks very weird from the behind. See the car, and we have the 5 lights, and the lights are out, and then we wait for 5 seconds, and away we go. Wilster getting a good enough start, so does Shalalak. But behind him, Abhi also gets a very good start. The Red Bull of Cryptid also gets a very good start. Already passes Abhi, who is taking a very wide line, keeping it cautious right there. A couple of change of positions behind down the field, but right now already the top 6 people have gone into a single file, and there is Harry Rocks and Washing Powder going side by side, and Faizan gets caught up in the mess of these two people battling out. They were probably very slow in that corner, and Faizan did not expected this, but Harry Rocks is currently behind Washing Powder, and Harry Rocks has managed to get a penalty for some reason.
That looks like a 5-second penalty for cutting. Looks like a 5-second penalty for corner cut from the looks of it. So he's not pretty happy about that. But up ahead, Madhav is right on the tails of Wilster G, and I think might be going for a move into the braking zone. Let's see if he can.
One thing that I noticed was that Wilster G really pulled off after the second and third corner, but right now Shalalak is again back on the tail of Wilster G.
Yep. Having a look at the ERS right now, as we can see Madhav has used a significant amount of ERS to gain that position, so that does explain that.
Yes, that explains that very much, and we still have a big line forming for the top 10. Everyone not separated by more than a second. We did not have a very big incident apart from Faizan going into the rear of, I think, Harry Rocks because of them battling out and being slow. But apart from that, it seems like it has been really clean. But yeah, Deepak Raj did not had the best of his starts. Not sure what has gone wrong with his start, but he is down 6 positions now. As we see both of them pitting now, so that explains that they have some kind of wing damage. Wilster G again pulls up a gap of 1 second now.
Yep, absolutely. Now strategy will be extremely important, and of course avoiding penalties, as we can see that Alfa Romeo has spun out, and the Alfa Romeo of Soham, they have spun out in turn 3, so that's not going according to the plans. And I find it very interesting that they have decided to start on the softs.
Actually, coming to that point, so if I'm not wrong, Soham Day is still on keyboard, and that particular 2-3 corners are so tricky to master on keyboard, because even on wheel you just lose your car. So if you are trying to keep your foot down and not let it spin out your car, it's really difficult for our keyboard.
As we can see, Madhav is currently has a significant amount of ERS, while Wilster has been conserving his ERS quite a bit.
If you have forgotten, we all know that Wilster never uses his ERS, right?
Of course, how can I forget that that race in Russia, and I can't imagine what kind of pace he would be doing if he was using that ERS more effectively.
Yeah, that is true. That is very much true. We do, after the first lap, we do have 2 people who already pitted and are at the back of the grid, but surprisingly, Deepak Raj went for mediums. I think he will do a medium after this, if I'm not wrong. But
that does seem like a good strategy. 14 lap stints in the medium sounds like a good strategy. As Madhav, who has now set the fast lap, but I think right now Abhi is being held up quite a bit by Cryptid right now, who did jump him at the start.
Yeah, that is very much true. I think Abhi did not get that good of a start, and then people were just all over him, and Cryptid just went down the inside of the first corner.
We have Abhi now hunting the tail of BK19 right now. Will he be able to get the move done in the back straight? But BK19 will have the DRS of his teammate, or will he crossing the line? As he seems to be just a bit off that DRS straight, the DRS distance zone.
He really needs that DRS. If he does not get that DRS, probably Avi will eat him alive on this.
Yep, using his overtake right now, but will BK is nearly out of DRS, but will Avi go for the move in this straight or the next straight?
He goes down the outside, keeps it clean, both of them side by side. Still side by side going down for the second straight. There is a big pack being formed behind with Harry Rocks.
And something has happened that both Wilster and Madhav have lost places, and Avi has retired. Will that be a safety car? Oh, and that's gonna have big repercussions for strategy.
Yep, and as I was telling before the start of this race, so all the strategies down the drain. Now the drivers will be thinking, we are in the final sector. What should I do? Should I pit? Should I not? There has been some incident because Shalalak has gone to P4 as well as Wilster, and Cryptid and Abhi have taken their positions.
Yep. I think majority of them would now be heading into the pits right now. Let's see what they do. And what
Yep.
and Faizan gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car.
That will be a race end for him right there. Surprising to see almost everyone pitting. What do you think the tires they are going on? Okay,
We have
Abhi is going on mediums.
Cryptid goes for another set of softs. Well, we have Madhav, who has also gone to another set of softs from the looks of it.
I think he has not.
No, he has not boxed yet, as he has gone for a set of
mediums.
And somehow Nirma has gained massive positions right now in P3. So
I think he started off on mediums.
oh yep. Looks like he has not boxed.
Yeah, he didn't need to box. He can go on for a bit longer.
Yep. Crucially, I think Madhav did get held up in the pits, and what that has caused is that he has lost significant amount of places because he was held up by Sets AlphaTauri. But crucially, I feel extremely sad. I think something happened while he was making for that move on BK19, and that seems to have cost him quite a bit.
Not only him, it did even cost this guy, Wilster G. Wilster G did not pit, right? Yeah.
Yep, he did not pit.
Wilster G decided to not pit. Did Madhav had a damage that he decided to pit, or we are not sure about
I did check right before he boxed, but at that point he did not seem to have any damage. My guess is that he got held up in the pits as the cars were leaving ahead of him. Behind him, of course.
Yeah, so that was purely a strategy call. Even Electrip decides not to pit on those softs and thinks of, staying in the front of this race because it gets a bit messy at the back, on safety car restart. So yeah, that's also not a bad decision in Electrip's favor.
Yep. It depends. It's true. Now this does open the possibility that he can possibly stretch out the stint and perhaps make a soft medium work. But you can also think about this way that whoever is already two-stopping has just gotten a cheap pit stop.
Yeah, that is also true. As we see Wilstretchy pitting now, I do think that's a very wise decision here. Correct me if I'm wrong, Maso.
Yeah, it's a very strange decision, if I must say so. I guess he has realized that although he forgot to pit, at this point, boxing is a better decision right now.
Because technically he will come out at the last in this grid, right? Because everyone has closed up. Yep, as we see everyone. Even Electric pits. So both the top two runners in the last lap pitted just now and will be coming out at the last on this field.
Yep, absolutely. And I think Cryptid has gone on the wrong tires, going on soft so early, and especially it's not a good choice for the second stint, I would consider.
I think maybe the game suggests soft, medium, and change it. And the safety car happened so suddenly that he did not get time to tell Jeff that I want mediums rather than
But he will be having some blistering pace, and it will be extremely important for him to very quickly make some moves.
Actually, like he can just eat alive the top three people ahead of him, and create some gap in the clean air. But yeah, if he gets stuck behind them, then that's probably a soft tire gone into waste.
But important thing is that like those softs won't last for long. With the high fuel load, you're going to be talking about a case where the tires are just scrubbing so much that they're overheating, and it's going to be like driving an ice in 4 laps time. So he has 4 laps of ultimate pace. He needs to make the most of that.
Yeah, that is very much true. He has to do everything in those 4 laps. Meanwhile, in the chat, one of our viewers, I think it was Eccentric, was asking the question. I don't think they should pit. What are your views on that? Like,
my view on that is that the two possibilities was that like Wilster had to extend the stint, as we have Abhi getting a penalty for colliding into Cryptid, which is very strange, and Cryptid also gets a 5-second penalty for colliding with Abhi. So just really strange. We're not sure what happened there. Hopefully they can get the penalties removed.
And there is a position change between Abhi and
Yes, we see all kind of.
I think Sid Kulkarni is lagging because the full leaderboard is going haphazard right now.
Yeah, it looks like we're having some kind of chaos happen right now as we're just having. But as we see that, I think safety car is in this lap.
Not in middle of this mess.
And that has just put both the Ferraris in P2 and P3. How did that happen?
I have
We are in a Ferrari sandwich, folks. Ferrari Williams sandwich. The Williams being the bread and the Ferrari being the, what do you call, the patty.
Actually, like, how did this happen? How
And,
did it?
and
I
we are.
think we would be restarting the session.
I think Sid restarted, but we will be doing that soon. As we have Washington and Nirma leading a race since his inaugural race, inaugural win in Australia.
Yeah, this is the first time I think he is leading a race, and behind him there are two Ferraris, two prancing horses looking to pounce on him. So let's see what he can do in this situation, especially Avi being on a fresher set of tire and Harry Rocks being right to give way to him.
Yeah,
As
as we see that Ferrari gets the team order all wrong over there.
probably Harry should have lifted off a bit, but then again he would have become victim to shallow luck there.
Yep. Right now, Madhav was trying to make the best of that position, but Abhi had to take some evasive action over there. Sid Kulkarni has rejoined the session right now, and right now they need to make most of this opportunity. Deepak Raj, however, seems to be up as the safety car seems to have benefited him than costed him much. So 3 laps old mediums, game on for Deepak.
Yeah, that is very much true. I will ask what is going on in the back end. Are they planning to restart or not? And get back to you with the news because right now the grid just went haphazard. I think Abhi was he was pretty much down. Even Electrip has overtaken. Cryptid is making a move on Deepak Raj right now. Okay, Deepak Raj is falling a lot of places. I think he has been into some incident and I can see him into the pits right now, going into the pits.
As we say that Abhi has now got, they did make the swap actually. Unfortunately, we did not notice that, but Abhi has made the swap and he is now chasing after Nirma, and it'll be interesting to see what Nirma does to get ahead.
Cryptid has lost it in the fast right-hander in the first sector, and he has fallen down to P11 on those soft tires.
That's so unfortunate.
That's a very unfortunate decision. The unfortunate thing that has happened to him.
Let's see now. Abhi does go for the move on Nirma right now. Will they be able to move? Nirma tries to stick it on the outside, but Abhi will have much better traction on those fresher mediums. Will they be able to keep the move? Oh, as Nirma loses traction and is out on the spot. And as we say, Madhav will now be getting ahead of. He has gotten ahead of Harry Rocks, and that means that the game on for the championship with Ferrari running 1-3 right now.
Yeah, that just brings Ferrari a lot of hope right there. It's like, you know, now they have two of their cars in the podium. If they can keep it like this, then they have a very good shot in the constructor standings as well.
Yep, absolutely.
Abhi has pulled off a 1.7 second gap because there was a lot of things going on in the back.
Wilshire G is up in the back of the grid now. Is already into P7, so a very good drive from him.
That is true. That is very much true. He is right now hunting Electrip. Electrip has also come back so much. Like, if I'm not wrong, Electrip was in P12 after P13 when P12 when the safety car came in, and now he is P6. He overtook Ulster on the starter.
Absolutely. Let's see if Wilshire will be able to get the move on Electrip now coming into the chicane. And we see as Wilshire has now gotten past Electrip. No, he has not gotten past Electrip. He did seem so, but he was for a moment in under pressure from Sid Kulkarni. Now, DRS wide open right now, but Wilson is right now not using his DRS as he seems to be holding position behind Electrip. But Mung is an imposter over here as he has gained positions over here at the current position. But I think Electrip and Wilson would want to get ahead of Mung as soon as possible.
This is a big DRS trade forming right behind Monk, and everyone wants to just get past him at this moment as we see Shalalak locking up there, still outside the DRS, and we see Sid Kulkarni making going side by side into the tricky bit, should not go there side by side, and decides wisely to back out, maybe make a move sometime else.
He tried for a wide entry to go around the outside of Wilster, but Wilster, like, quite brilliantly cut him off into the next corner. Electric looking all kinds of impatient behind Monk and BK19, who just seems to be held up. Especially BK19 on those hard, they're not going to be feeling too good.
Yeah, that is very much true, because Monk should be making a move pretty much now on those soft tires for those hards. We do see a lot of cars on the long straight right now. Shalalak still seems to be around a second behind, and I see the Williams of washing powder spinning out, coming out of the final corner. It is just going downhill. He does have a right wing damage as well.
He has spun out in the worst place possible at the end of the lap. He can't even go back into the pits at this point.
Yep, and he's just gonna lose like some 6 or 7 seconds in this lap just to go and get his wing changed. We do still have a drain behind Monk. Cryptid also trying to make a move on Soham Day. Gets a good exit, will be in the DRS wide open, using a bit of ERS probably, and he pulls out on the outside, which will become the inside to the next corner, so he should get this move done easy peasy, and that is the move done there.
Yep, Madhav right now hot on the tails of Abhi. Seems to be the faster car out of the two, but it'll be interesting to see where they can finally finish, especially given that Ferrari running 1-3. For Madhav, that win is going to be extremely important right now. But BK19 is also hot on the tails of Harry Rocks right now. Now let's try to bring up the our race statistics. As we can see, BK19 right now slightly faster than Harry Rocks, who is now on those worn mediums.
Yeah, so that's not a good news for the Ferraris, because yeah, he is on worn mediums, but BK19 is on hards. Just 4 laps younger hards, and he's still catching up like 3 to 4 tenths per lap on an average of the past 4 laps, which is not a good news. And as we see a lot of cars going right there, Electric being still patiently waiting behind Monk, trying to make a move, but Wilster is like, nope, I am not waiting, and he has made the move stick and is now looking for a move on BK19 as well.
Goes around the outside, but will BK be able to come back? BK just doesn't have the traction to fight back, and I think, is it me or does BK have damage? He does not have, but false alarm hooks.
Yep, he does not have damage, and they are still side by side. I'm not sure who got the DRS out of these two. I think none of them got, but
BK does have DRS, and as we see, and Wilster seems to be now waiting patiently for the next try to make the move, as he has made 3 moves actually in the space of like a couple of corners, while Electrip has been stuck behind Monk.
Yeah, I think Electrip is waiting too patiently. Probably he should try out some side-by-side action into some corner to make the move. As we see Wilster making a move there on BK19.
Further ahead, Abhi 17 has now gotten past Madhav and has gotten behind Madhav right now, as Madhav was able to make the overtake on Abhi right now. But now Abhi is still close as Madhav, but Madhav is really looking quick in that third sector right now as it stands.
Yeah, that is true. But what I have seen is that Abhi is quicker in the first sector, if I'm not wrong, and in the second and third sector, Madhav is gaining time, if I'm not wrong. But let's see what he can pull out from it. He has lost 3 tenths in the final sector. Now he is 5 tenths behind Shalalak, but well enough in the range of DRS to make a move in the long straight.
Yep, absolutely. And as we see that Wilster is now up to P4, he will now be looking to hunt down the other Ferrari of Harry Rocks. He has had a clean race so far, and if he can pull out a mammoth last stint, and if Madhav or Abhi gets significant penalties, then it will be actually, if they get another 3-second penalty, this could fall back into Wilster's hands.
Yeah, that is very much true. Meanwhile, Electrip has also made his move on Monk finally, and is now waiting to make a move on BK19 as well. We are on the back straight, but I think he is a bit too far to make a move on this particular straight. But maybe in the next straight he will have DRS again, use a bit of his DRS and try making a move, because we right now see Wilster, after breaking free of BK19, has created a 1-second gap like in a lap. So it's clear that people are holding Electric back right now, and all he needs to do is make position.
Yep, it could be a straight line speed as well. Perhaps BK19 is running or even Monk could have been running a setup with significantly more straight line speed. But as it stands, Abhi17 is quite a far back of Madhav. Seems to be losing quite heavily in Sector 3 as it stands in the dirty air. But of course, pitch strategy could completely change the situation any moment.
You know, frankly speaking, I feel that Madhav has more pace than Abhi17
Yep.
on the track
Yep, that does
overall.
seem.
And I think the only way Abhi can beat Shalalak would be in the pit strategy. As we can see even in the graphics that he is losing 5/10 almost every lap slower than Shalalak right there.
Yep, absolutely. And further behind right now, Wilster has now got into the back of Harry Rocks over there.
That was a very quick catch there, you know. Like
Yep.
he just closed the gap like a second in the last lap. Yep.
Ooh, we get a
that
30-second
did-
penalty.
Oh, that's not good news for Wilster there. But right now he is right there on the gearbox of Harry. Going into this long straight will be a move done. I feel DRS wide open right there, getting the slipstream of Harry as much as possible. Decides
Whoa,
to
and loses his wing. Oh my, Harry sent one hell of a squeeze over there, and Wilster's wing is gone. As we can see, the Racing Point wing fly over the second chicane, faster than the cars themselves.
Oof, that was a very aggressive move for Wilster to not decide to go on the outside and, go on the inside, even though there was just a car width. But Harry did squeeze him in. Maybe a report coming in. Cannot judge by just what we saw. We need to see the footage. But yeah, Harry did give a very good squeeze right there. Probably Wilster should have gone on the outside itself, but he wanted to get past him, but it did cost him a lot now. He will have to box now. Probably will be looking for a mediums if I'm not wrong, if he boxes right now.
As Electrip is still stuck behind BK19, he's just losing pace to the cars ahead right now as it stands. But as we say that, Abhi is now gaining some pace back on Madhav as that gap is quite quickly dropping. Which is
Was that some ERS saving laps, couple of laps, save the ERS and then, go for the push again?
I don't think so. But as it stands in the battle for top 4 right now, Wilster will have to change. Will have a wing change in the next pit stop whenever he pits.
Surprisingly, he decides not to pit. Probably he thinks that he's not losing a lot of time. As we see the time, yep, in the last lap, he did not lose a lot to Shalalak, just a 10th. But there is a Red Bull of Cryptid who has retired.
It's a virtual safety car. We have some drive-thrus incoming, folks.
And especially, I think it's the same place a Red Bull has retired, where a Red Bull retired yesterday as well, of Kapil S. I think he went on the too much wide on that corner, and just the track is so bumpy there that you lose your car and hit the wall on the right. So I think he also ended up in the same fashion, probably following what yesterday Kapil had.
Hopefully nobody gets a drive-through, as is usually what happens in a tier 2 race. We do see quite a lot of drivers get drive-throughs, but let's hope that nobody gets today and we have a good race.
Yeah, this could have been a very good opportunity for Wilster to pit, but the sad part is that he is too far behind the pit stop right now, and the VSC came out probably when they were in the first or second sector, and now it's a long way for him to go into the pits. I'm not sure whether he will go for the pits because he's still, and we are back racing, so probably that was a missed opportunity for Wilster. He will be banging his head.
And crucially, Madhav has gotten back. Abhi has gotten back into the DRS of Madhav, and Wilster lost some pace to Harry as well. So that's not good news. And speaking of other things that's happening right now, scripted reserve session, and happening right now is that Abhi seems to have more front tire wear, while Madhav has more rear tire wear, which I just happened to notice right now. Which
Probably something to do with the setup, I believe. Like how they have set their cars up. Maybe the two-end camber is doing its effect here.
yeah, but that's what I think it is. But it's definitely something interesting to watch. As we say now, Electrip is now still stuck behind BK. Will he be able to get that move done finally?
The this is the straight, but I think BK will have DRS. Nope, he does not have DRS. Electric does have DRS, but Wilster is losing a lot of time on those broken wings. I think he should probably think of pitting as soon as possible.
Yep, absolutely. Electric ball is a broken. Oh, that's what they're saying. Oh, that's no. So both the Mercedes is having the pink Mercedes and the silver, black Mercedes as well, not having an ideal race.
Yeah, that is very much true, and both of them have decided to stick with the broken wing because I think they are not losing a lot of pace. But yeah, as Electric gets the move done on the second DRS back straight, easy move with the DRS assist, and he has again started to fall back from Madhav, kind of keeping the gap same. We do have Electric who will start chasing Wilster, but Wilster has again caught up to Harry Rocks. So the broken wing is not at all affecting him, it seems.
Yep, that just looks like his. Wilster is heading into the pits. So let's see what tire he goes on for his final stop. Oh my God, nearly loses it entering the pits.
But I have to say this, hands down, at least not a lot of people have crashed into the pit entry as the tier 1 race yesterday. I think some 3 or 4 people crashed into the pit entry, and we have seen none from our tier 2 boys here.
Wilster has opted for a new set of mediums, so quite interesting. Good start, I think. If provided he can take those starts in the end, which he should easily be able to do 13 laps in the mediums, quite doable. Even 13 laps in the soft is also possible if you are brave enough.
Technically, with less fuel, it should be easy peasy for him. Yep. And as we see the graphics, we see that Abhi did lose 2 tenths in the last lap, but he did gain 5 tenths in the last lap. So probably used a bit of his ERS to close the gap. But then again, once he runs out, he is again behind Shalalak.
Absolutely.
We do have BK19 who is within DRS of Electrip right now. He is closing the gap on Electrip.
Ooh, Abhi gets a 3-second penalty, and that means he has most time to cover up right now. But as we say that Electrip is now very quickly closing in on Harry Rocks. Let's see if how quickly he's catching on Harry Rocks. 3 tenths faster, a second and half faster compared to Harry Rocks right now. But Electrip but both of them have a setup in hand. Oh, Electrip hits the wall.
I think he just crashed it. I don't think he hit the wall. He just crashed it very narrowly, avoiding it. And I feel that Harry did some mistake, because of which he has fallen back 1.5 seconds.
It could be, and I suspect Harry Rocks. As you can see, his tires are completely gone. I suspect Harry is planning on a one-stop strategy, of a medium soft strategy, and which means he will be boxing soon.
That's a very bold move, but on the soft runs, he will be quicker than a lot of people on the grid.
Yep, and let's not forget, Electrip has to box as well.
Yeah, that is very much true. Electrip will also box for the softs and probably get a wing change, which will definitely put Harry Rocks ahead of Electrip after the pits are done.
Yep, absolutely. Let's see what strategy he does, but Electrip is looking for a move on Harry. Harry wants defending quite aggressively, but he will not have the braking power, but outbrakes Electrip. But Electrip is trying to hang around the outside over there.
Backs out on that corner, and that just helps BK19 capitalize on this situation. And now Electrip, instead of thinking of attack, now he has to think of defend.
Yep, absolutely, as we see. Now that means Electrip is now going to lose more time through Sector 3 right now.
That is very much true, we see Abhi has fallen out of DRS from Shalalak. It is showing that Shalalak has more pace, because he is able to break the DRS even though he is ahead having no DRS.
I think it could be a ping pong situation essentially, where Abhi is getting into DRS, struggling with dirty air, falling back, getting into DRS, falling back. I think that's what's happening right now.
Yeah, that can also be one of the explanations. We do have a train behind Harry, 2 people who are trying to pounce on him. Let's see what he can do in this situation. And as we see Wilster making a move on Soham Day, who goes really wide there, Wilster just braked really hard and turned in and went for the inside line.
absolutely, and that means he now moves into P6, and I think he will now be looking to chase down BK19, who's quite a bit ahead. I thought he was not that far ahead.
Actually, it's been a pack like the first two have pulled off, and then we have a pack of third, fourth, fifth, and then we have another pack of sixth, seventh, eighth.
We have Harry right now in P3 effectively, and it'll be interesting to see what happens now regarding pit strategies, because as we have a yellow sector, as we can see, Alfa Romeo of Soham Day, who has now crashed out.
Someone has disqualified, I think.
It was the Alfa Romeo of Soham Day. He spun out and he was facing the wrong direction. Harry is defending extremely well right now from Electrib on those old mediums right now. Electrib has been struggling with getting past cars for the entire race.
That is very much true.
Harry goes,
Harry goes really wide.
Electrib does get past.
Yep, that just gave a free move to Electrib. I think we gave him a commentator. Instead of giving him a curse, we gave him some blessings, and right there it was.
Yep, absolutely. But let's see, I think now all the drivers are now approaching their pit window for the final stop, and let's see what happens now going to the final pit stop, as Harry is now heading into the pits and will be bolting on him, and we will be bolting on a new fresh set of softs.
Yep, that will be. He is looking for an undercut on both the drivers who just now were right behind him, and
he has that 5 second to serve, so that's definitely going to cost. And that's gonna. I think BK is on for a podium here, folks.
Yeah. To be honest, maybe can you bring up what tires? Oh, he's on hards.
He's on hards, and he's going up till the end on those particular sets. So he's in a hot seat for that P3 position, given that Electrib has to box as well.
Yeah, that is very much true, and Electrib cannot cover up pit stop worth of time on those soft tires over the next.
Harry has boxed for a new set of mediums. Oh my god, that does not good.
That does not make sense. What do the people in the chat think about this move? Let's have a look. Probably some people will react to it in a couple of minutes.
That's a Ferrari strategy over there, folks.
Yeah, Soham Day having a unfortunate disqualification. Did he hit the pit wall and was trying to reverse from it and got disqualified like Oxygen yesterday?
No, he actually lost it in turn 1 and essentially got stuck in the wrong way for too long.
This game is really harsh on that part, but as we see, Abhi has again closed the gap to 5/10. Probably will be looking for a move on the back DRS straight if he can.
Oh my god! Ooh, keeps it off the wall. Ooh, that was close.
That was really, really close. That was really close for just his race being over right there.
Yep, absolutely.
But unfortunately, he's fallen 2 seconds behind Shalalak. That just goes to show he did hit the wall and has a lime green wing.
Yep.
So will affect his pace, but not a lot. Obviously, Will Stritchy sets the fastest lap time on those medium tires. But yeah,
BK19 has also boxed, so there goes the predictions about a podium run over there. But it'll be interesting, and very strange decision from Harry right now with the mediums. He's committed to a 2-stop right now. He needs to box soon, otherwise he will be disqualified.
Oh, so did he start on mediums? Yeah, he did start on mediums, right? So he is on another mediums. He does have to box again.
He does have to box again, yeah.
And that too, we can see that these are used medium. No, we are watching. Sorry, my bad. I got the Ferraris mixed up. But then, yeah, he does have a lime green wing, so might be losing a couple of hundredths of a second per lap to Shalalak. Probably will be thinking to pit in the next couple of laps.
Especially in Sector 3, he would now be losing quite a lot with the lack of DRS.
Harry Rocks is about to make a move on BK19. Oh, something has gone wrong there behind as well, because he was 2/10 behind BK19, but now he has lost the time to 1 second more than the DRS. I think there was some contact somewhere.
Yep, I mean that's the only explanation, as we see that Madhav has boxed, but Abhi has decided to stay out.
Looking for an overcut or maybe extending the mediums till the end. I am not sure. Let's see. That will be a bold move. Definitely. But yeah, as I was about to say, that just goes to show the consistency point that we were talking about. So if you are consistent, so Shalalak has been consistent in the full season, not getting penalties. Today also he has no penalties. And if you can just keep your car on the track, not have oopsies, not have any moments, then you can really, have a good grasp on the race. Right now, it seems like Abhi is losing time to Shalalak. The only thing right now suitable for Abhi will be to not box, but I don't think so that's gonna happen with those orange tires probably will burst towards the end.
Yep, absolutely. But he is staying out one lap, which may or may not work in his favor. High Rocks gets under penalty, but once again, as we mentioned, he has to box again. And right now, he is coming P11 potentially, I would say, with the current pit deltas, maybe more.
That is very much true. Electrip has put on the softs. He should start putting out a charge there in the field. He can come up to maybe P4. Considering that this was Electrip's one of his favorite tracks. Not the finish he would be happy with, but definitely something that he can take home.
He sets purple sector 2 on the way and is, I think, quite quickly chasing down Harry with those fresh softs. But Abhi has boxed, but he did box one lap later than Madhav as well, which can completely change this race right now.
I think the undercut was massive, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
I feel that he will come 4 seconds behind Abhi right there. So let's just have a look where he comes out. He is leaving the pits. Meanwhile, Shalalak has already crossed the pit exit. Yep. So it will be more than that as well.
And crucially, Wilster G was very massive actually. If you look at the whole, look at the game, as he's gained over 10 seconds, 13 seconds.
13 seconds undercut. That's the biggest undercut.
Oh, I believe Abhi has also changed his wing, so that would explain why there was such a big difference.
Yep, that would explain the big difference, but not in favor of Abhi. He is right now 7 seconds behind Wilster, who is not gonna box, so he has to cover up that 7 second if he wants the second on the podium.
Yeah, absolutely, and but besides that, behind him, like we have Electrip, who is now closing on a move on Harry Rocks right now, and will be going for that move around the outside, I believe, into turn 1. Harry tries to squeeze him on the outside. Harry defending really hard, but Electrip with those fresh softs just has more grip right now and gets the move done.
Yep. It's simply no point to defend, especially it's probably like Harry.
Hello. We seem to have lost my fellow current completely. Let me try to get him back in. Yep, as it stands, we have Harry Rocks right now in P5, but has to box again for the mediums. Madhav now with a very sizable lead and in contention. And when I think if he does not put a step wrong, he will be getting the drivers' championship today. We did make a RNS announcement last day that he did win in Brazil, but he will be winning today in his home circuit of the Yas Marina, actually Abu Dhabi, of course. But right now, as it stands, he is in contention and Constructors is also going down to the wire, and especially given that they'll be building a sizable gap, as Harry Rocks as it stands is not going to be in the points as he has to make a final pit stop for the softs. But he has defended from Electrip and seems that Electrip has not been able to make a move, and Electrip will have to once again get past Harry. And he has damage, so that's also not helping anyone here. One of the things, we have Electrip right now going for a move on Harry and gets past easily the Ferrari, who is now on much slower tires. But once again, we know that because of the nature of these two DRS traits, will Harry be able to get ahead?
I feel that Harry should box, as a lot of people in our chat as well are suggesting Harry please box, Harry please box. So I think Harry should listen to our viewers and just box for softs. Right now, Electrip seems to be hunting BK19, but it does not seem that it is gonna be possible. Abhi has closed the gap by 3 seconds in the last one lap to Wilster G might be an interesting battle towards the end, considering that both of them have the same amount of penalties.
Yep, absolutely. But among other things, Harry could still finish slightly ahead of Washington and Nirma given penalties, so that's going to be an interesting situation as well. And he could, of course, go for the fast lap as well.
Yeah, that is very much true. He has to just somehow, manage to be in P10. That's what a lot of people in our chat were also guessing, that he will come out P10 if he wins now.
Oh, we
BK19
have,
retired from this race.
and that means Harry Rocks will just now get a very cheap pit stop.
Yeah, actually, because we have a VSC, a couple of seconds saved there in the pit stop. So easy peasy P10, he will come out. Wilster G also loses at the same place where Cryptid lost it. So Kapil setting a very good, pathway for everyone crashing out in that
You mean
corner.
BK19, right? Not Bilster.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. BK19 is whom I meant. So BK19 and Cryptid lost at the same place,
Yep.
where Kapil lost his car yesterday. So we already have 3 cars who have been, what do you call, given to that corner.
We have seen that historically that particular corner is very tricky, especially with worn tires. The rear can just snap out of your hands and you are pretty much heading into the wall with very little runoff to the right there.
Do we see that Abhi is just 2.5 seconds behind Wilster?
Yep, he is very quickly closing on Wilster right now, and I think we have a final battle going down into the wire. 1.8
Yeah,
seconds last lap, so
yep,
very quick
that-
pace right now.
I think if you open that graphics again once he crosses the line, I think he catched up another 2 seconds in the last lap.
Yep. As we say that Madhav right now, okay, if you stood in the last VSC, he is around 8 tenths faster than 2 seconds to 8 tenths faster than Wilshire right now. So quite a close. So it seems that Madhav is pulling away, but right now Wilshire needs to be more worried about Abhi, who will be chasing down and will be catching him up. 2.3 seconds is the last lap. That's
right
like
there,
that's extremely
right
quick pace.
Yep, right there. I also expected the same. I think even under VSC, Abhi got a much better exit out of that VSC, once the VSC ended than Wilster, and that has just compromised Wilster. He is still gaining on Wilster. He will be soon within the DRS of Wilster. Probably Wilster will defend for his life for that P2.
Yep, absolutely. And as we see that Wilster seems to be pulling away on the straight, which is a very interesting factor over here. And among other things, Electrip is on point for P4. He doesn't have challenge Monk in a very good P5, I must say.
Yeah, that is an excellent race finish for him right there, unless Karnay decides to do something on those hards. He is currently 2 seconds behind, I don't think so. But yeah, Monk does have 8 seconds penalty if I'm not wrong.
Monk is on a 1 stop, so I don't know how he pulled that off though.
He has not done it. Oh, he did 1 stop, okay. I think soft hards was that.
He started on the soft, so he's done a soft medium, which I find quite strange really. To see that Harry is losing time to Faizan, so he seems to be not able to get his head together and is potentially losing a lot of space.
Actually, Harry has just now bitten, so this is his first lap.
Of course. And Abhi, I think, is very close to Wilshire right now, and I think could be moving into DRS, perhaps by after the set series of corners.
I think the move can be done right here. It can be done on the straight itself, because those soft tires will have immense grip coming out of that air.
Crossing the line, he does not have DRS, but he will have for the next corner, next straight. Wilshire weaving to avoid the slipstream.
Yeah, that is a fair amount of V, but very legal. Was not able to break the slipstream that much because it was not a lot of V. But yeah, now coming down to this straight, I think Abhi will wait for one more lap. If I was in his position, I would have. But let's see what he does here.
Absolutely, and as going on, we have Abhi still stuck behind Wilshire. I thought he would get the move done, but right now, as it stands, Wilshire is ahead, and I think Wilshire would do everything in his power to defend from Abhi 17. Given we only have 4 laps to go, actually less than 4 laps to go.
It will be 3 laps once they cross the line. So
yeah. I must admit to Wilshire's pace because he is right now holding pace with Madhav ahead.
Yeah, that is very much true. Abhi is driving faster on those softs for some reason. Uh, but yeah, like maybe Shalalak is just chilling up front, be like, okay, once they come close, I will think
Yep.
about it. But then right now, Abhi is right on the tail as he crosses the first corner. Faizan, meanwhile, leaves the session. He will rejoin. I think Abhi is going for the move on this corner itself. Nope, decides to stay back. Will go for the move on the easy DRS straight rather than risking it on a corner like that.
Yep, absolutely. But ooh, as Wilster goes wide,
Much
that's going to open the door for Abhi. But if he does pull the move back, Wilster will get the move for the next chicane, and it is possible Wilster to get back on him in the next straight. Let's see what happens now. As we see Abhi leave Wilster in his tail.
very nice camera angle. Much appreciated.
Oh my God! As we see that Faizan's AI has boxed on the pits.
Oh, that's a big grip for him. Yep, the AI is tend to do that. Yesterday, similar thing happened to me in the race. As soon as I left the race, the AI boxed. So yeah, but it seems like the move is done. I don't think Wilster will be able to come back. Can we have a look at Wilster's ERS? I will be really mad at him if ERS. So I will be really mad at him if he still has a lot.
He has a lot.
Please use your please use your ERS, Wilster. We commentators are begging you every week to use it. Use it.
I apologize to the fellow viewers for the reaction from my co-commentator. But as we see that Wilshire is really striking close to B17, I must say Wilshire is really keeping pace with him in that third sector, and which is something you don't see when the driver ahead has more penalties.
Actually, technically speaking, Abhi was losing time in third sector to Shalalak, so maybe it might be something to do with Abhi's setup rather than Wilster's.
So even compared to Madhav, Wilshire has been really keeping pace.
Yeah, that is very much true. Now is the time he can use those 68% in the next 2 laps. Please use it. I will really PayPal you 10 rupees if you use all your ERS by the end of this race.
I believe he did use it a bit, Propi, but he has decided not to boast friendly.
Okay, I think we can ask our audience. Let us guess by how much, by the race end, how much ERS will Wilster have. Put down your guesses in the chats.
Yep, Wilster is holding right on the pit. I can't imagine with this kind of race pace, Wilster could have actually won the race by a sizable margin.
Yeah, he could have. I think he's holding back for the last lap, but that's what we thought even in Russia, where he did not use his ERS at the end as well. But he is still waiting for the softs to warn off, which it would have done by now a bit. So maybe he will use some of his ERS in this last lap. Please, Wilster, do not disappoint me.
Yeah, because but both of them seem to be holding ERS right now, as both Wilster and Abhi are not using a lot right now, and their relative ERS position has maintained.
A couple of guesses are already coming in. Someone guessing 35%. But I think it will be more than 50. Please put down your guesses in the chat. Apart from this battle, right now the field seems to have settled. It will be interesting to see what happens in this the DRS trade which is coming up ahead. Will Wilster go for the move there?
Yep, absolutely, and as we say that Wilster is very close. He has 52% ERS, Abhi has 30%, so he can technically go for the move, but he gets a tiny bit of wheel spin exiting the hairpin. That's not going to help him.
Yep, and that did not at all help him. Looking to stick in the slipstream of Abhi, it will be really unfortunate for one of these drivers to get a warning and get a penalty right now in the last lap.
Yep.
Probably will ruin their day. Let's hope that does not happen.
Wilster has to use his ERS as he has 30% left, and I think he will be trying for that move. Coming into last corner, tries with the inside. Oh, all gets all argy bargy over there. Wilster gets 3-second time penalty. Now that is some instant comedy discourse over there, but that was some extremely heated battle between the two. As Wilster, I think he has slight wing damage as well from that contact.
Yeah, it seems like he picked up a damage. Let me just type a message to Wilster on Discord apologizing for that before the race ends so
Yep.
that he does not kill
Madhav
me on
crosses the
the grid.
line, wins the WTC of Tier 2 for in his first season in Tier 2. A brilliant drive, consistent through the entire season. Abhi 17 his the P2 in the championship, crosses the line, and I believe he has also sealed P2 in the championship. Wills to cross the line. I believe he has also so I think the championship as it was has crossed the line as they should finish in the final standings.
I think even the constructor is sealed, if I'm not wrong, just with one race left.
I don't think so because they need to build a gap of around 46 points, which I think
No,
has not been built.
unless something really weird happens with the Williams boys in the next race of Mexico, which we are sorry, Brazil, that we are gonna was it Brazil or was it
Yep,
Mexico? I'm getting
absolutely. Harry Rock crosses the line in P7, but I think due to penalties, he would be finishing behind the other Williams, the Washington and Nirma.
So we did have two people who guessed 35 and 40%, but unfortunately he ended up with less than 20% if I'm not wrong. So none of you get a cookie. But apart from that, we are done as Faizan with those bone tires of mediums crossing the line without a puncture in P10 right there. So we did have four people who were unfortunate to get DNF today in today's race, but nevertheless, an excellent race and excellent drive by Abhi, especially to come back. Please drop in, and that's the selfie emote right there. But do drop in your driver of the day in the chat. We will do have a look on that as well as we head to the podium. 3 Indian flags waving right there. That was an excellent race. What do you think about the race,
Yep, I
Vasu?
think a lot of action up and down the field, and I must say they were incredibly consistent. And I think that's going to be quite interesting now. We of course did see a Ferrari strategy play out, which nobody expected. And of course, going through the grid, I think I must give respect to all the drivers who finished, who really did, like I think, try to deliver as the most as they could. A lot of drivers, although they were a bit off in pace, I think really did well to make the most of their situations, of course. And of course, we did have a few drivers who, at the end of the day, were in good positions but could not make the most of it.
One more thing, one one theory I have right now. So we saw two drivers crash into the corner after the first sector, that long right-hander. One was Red Bull, one was Alpha Tauri. So are the Honda engines cursed for that corner? Is the question that arises now.
So it's quite possible because we do know that the Red Bulls have a shorter wheelbase compared to the other cars. So
But
that could,
technically, in multiplayer, aren't the cars equal?
they're not exactly equal. We have seen that they have some minor differences, such as with their what do you call, their gearing, their engine power. There is like minor differences which does ultimately make a difference.
Yeah, that is true. We do have all our podium finishers in the VC. Let's move on to the podium interview, starting off with P3 finish Wilster G. First of all, before we start, I would like to apologize to you. I did give you a curse for getting 3-second penalty, so please, no hate rates there.
No, no,
But
no.
yeah, nevertheless, I was banking on you to use your ERS because we all know that you don't, which you did in this race. But how was the battle towards the end? How did you like it?
It was fierce. That's all I can say. It was very fierce.
Yeah, it would be because everyone wants that P2, and you both were at the same penalty, I feel. And in the one more decision that you made when the first safety car came out was to pit after the field has bunched up. So, what triggered that decision, and why did you decide to go that late? Because you fell really back in the field. You were like P12 or something at one place at one point in this race, right?
Yeah, I had a half spin before the safety car, so I wasn't sure. I was checking for damage. Till then, I didn't make the decision to get in or not.
Okay. I think Electrip also followed you once you pitted, since he
Yes.
was right behind you, if I'm not wrong, or yeah, right behind you.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we were definitely worried about that decision. Do you think that affected your race, like since you had to come from all the way back up the field? to the front?
Yeah, probably.
Because we could see that you had the pace same as Shalalak on most of your second stint. So we were like, you could have bagged a first place finish today. But nevertheless, a really wonderful drive by you in today's race. Shall we move on, Masum?
Yep, absolutely. Take it away, Prupi.
Okay, so going to Abhi 17, our second position finisher. So Abhi, one question: are you bored of being on the podium? Same question I will ask Shalak,
Um,
since I think this is how many races in a row that you have been on a podium. I think we all have lost count of it. But
so
nevertheless, that was a brilliant drive. How was the last lap? I would first start with that, last couple of laps.
okay, last lap I don't know what happened. It was I was picking pace. Till Wilster, I knew he wouldn't use ERS for God knows why.
So
So I did
Wilster,
overtake him.
yeah, so Wilster, we do had a game in the middle. We asked the audience, our viewers, how much ERS will you have by the end of the race? But surprisingly, you beat all of them. Everyone thought you will have more than 30 or 40%. I especially thought you will have more than 50, but you did use up in the last lap. But yeah, carry on, Abhi.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so on your soft stint, you were like 2 seconds quicker than Wilster. So, where did that pace come from suddenly? Was it the tires or you got used to the track?
I have no idea. I think it's I got used to the track probably. It should be that, yeah.
Okay.
And last lap, I don't know what happened. There was contact. Do you guys got it? Did you guys
Yes,
get it
yes.
on stream? Okay, there was
Yes,
contact.
yes. Yours and Wilster's, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I left him space in the outside, but he wanted the inside so badly for some reason. So, yeah, it was good. It was good racing, except for the last lap. Charlie was just too fast. There was no chance of catching him. It was just P2 was my maximum today, and no regrets. All good.
So right now, I think you have sealed the second position in our drivers' championship. So how do you
Yes,
feel? This is your first
yes.
season in IRC, if I'm not wrong, right?
This is my first season full time driver. Yeah,
Yeah,
the last season I went. I was a reserve.
reserve.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I played half season, right?
Yep. So that's a very
Yeah,
good comeback from being a reserve to being a full season driver and then coming
yeah,
second in the drivers championship. One more
not bad.
question I had, which I think I will ask Shalalak. So coming to our race winner for today's race. So Shalalak, how was the race? We could see that you were faster. Is it because you live really close to the track, or do you have some other, ace up your sleeves?
I think it's because Das Marina is close by.
So where you just
Hat.
hacks, yep, that's clear hack. Apart from that, the question I wanted to ask was that in the initial couple of laps, so Abhi was chasing you or you were chasing Abhi, if I'm not wrong, and then you both of you fell behind the two people who were following you. So what happened there? Because we could not catch it on the stream. So could you
I don't
explain
know if
what happened
you
there?
saw what happened. In front of me, Wilster G had a spin,
Okay.
and I had to go off track to avoid him. And by
Okay.
the time I came back on track, everyone else behind caught up and went in front of me.
Okay, so I think Abhi also went to P1 at that instant from P3, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I
Uh,
went from
I guess.
P4 to P2. In fact,
okay,
yeah, P4
P4
to
to
P2.
P2. Yeah, I
Then
think
I
electric.
crashed into the pit entry.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I had a red wing.
Okay, so we did have a crash into the pit wall. Did you guys see anyone else crash into the pit wall? Because we could not catch anyone else crash into the pit wall. Any of you saw anyone else?
I don't think so. I think it was just me today.
Okay, so because yesterday in Tier 1 race, I think we had a couple of unfortunate incidents into that pit wall entry. But yeah, as we were also speaking about the corner that took out two people today, had to DNF, I think BK19 encrypted both Honda powered engine. So was that corner being very tricky for you guys to tackle, or something went wrong with them only? What was your experience, Alala, on
Yeah,
that
a
corner?
lot of people were the fast right-hander, right?
First right-hander, yes, the long right-hander which just
Yeah,
goes
so
downhill after
a
that.
lot of people were just losing the rear while going flat out through there. I don't know why. I think if you, that corner, if you take the line a little wrong, even if you line is a little bit incorrect, it just you get a oversteer and then you just lose the rear of the car.
Yeah, that might be true. Nevertheless, that was our race, Tier 2 race, the last second race of the season. We do have one more race pending. Abu Dhabi was supposed to be the last race in Tier 2 as well, but unfortunately, because of lobby glitches, we had to nullify the results of, was it Mexico GP?
Yeah, it was Mexico. So last race
Yep.
of Tier 2 would be on Mexico, which is of course will be in the 7th of February.
Yep, so that will be the last race of our season, and probably we will have our special session after that for Tier 2 folks that we had
Yep.
for Tier 1.
Yep.
Yep, so we will do have that next week. Do tune in next week for our Tier 2 race, after which we will be closing off our season. Wonderful season, never to be, nevertheless. But yeah, that's it. Anything else you have to say, Masu?
I think that's it for me. I think I've covered everything, and I think that's our stream for today.
Yep. Thank you. Bye bye.